Greetings and salutations, friends. I am Numithrander, and we're back in Krai, and we'll begin with another quick little episode with Aino and Inifa.
It's over.
Before we continue the main plot, trying to find Flynn's. The deer once again. I hope nothing's gone wrong with him.
Little dearie, you gotta eat your breakfast, or you're never gonna grow up big and strong.
I know. There is still lacquerberry residue hanging from the corner of its mouth.
Huh? What?
Its recovery is progressing smoothly. In a few more days, we can ask Miss Lauma to send it back to its herd. I know. I am sure you know that it deserves to go back home instead of staying with us.
But...
Did the Lady Moonchanter from the Frost Moon Scions not say as much when she came to treat the deer? Its family might be worried about it. Once it has recovered, it would be best to send it home.
I know, but, you know, it obviously hasn't recovered yet. Does your leg still hurt? Do you want to go home?
I know. Didn't the Lady Moonchanter promise us that she would come and pick up the deer? When the time comes, let's ask her to listen to what the deer has to say again. I know. Didn't the Lady Moonchanter promise us that she would come and pick up the deer? When the time comes, let's ask her to listen to what the deer has to say again.
Oh. So, actually having Lauma in the party changes the way this interaction goes.
This little one has recovered well, thanks to your diligent care. When I return, I'll ask around in advance. If fortune smiles on me and I manage to locate its herd, then the next time I come, it will be to send this fawn home.
But...
I understand. You cannot bear to see it leave. But this little rhyme-horned deer has its own family, and its father, mother, and friends must surely be worried sick. Once it is well, I believe it would be best to have it reunite with its own.
I know, but it's not well yet. Does your leg still hurt? Do you want to go home?
It says it doesn't hurt anymore, but can you brush my fur again?
Okay, let me grab my comb. I just asked Inifa to make a new one yesterday. If you like it, you can take it back with you to your family. Wait. Where'd I put it? Let me go back home and dig around.
Then I shall take my leave. Once again, I thank you for taking such good care of the little one. I came in a rush today, so next time I shall prepare some gifts.
Do not force yourself to go out of your way for gifts, Miss Lauma. Aino loves the deer, and I do too. It is only natural for us to care for it. Besides, Aino and I are happy to have the chance to talk to it.
Is that so? Well, the rhyme-horned deer is very fond of you, too. I'm sure it considers both of you its true friends. I believe this is a friendship that will not fade, even if you are worlds apart.
Interesting. That's the first time one of these anecdotes has actually changed based on who I had in the party. I think I'm of two minds about that. On the one hand, wonderful detail, but actually having a different cast member can change the way these interactions run. On the other hand... It can be a bit irksome to contemplate the fact that it's now gated story content that you simply can't access unless you happen to have the 5-star in question. Then again, we did receive the sticker for the anecdote regardless of Lauma's involvement. So, in actual, well, technical terms, as in game resources, didn't actually change anything having Lauma present. It just added a bit more story. Which, admittedly, is pretty much exactly what it should be doing. Yeah, an interesting thing about it, I guess. One there was.
Whoa! The fog's really rolling in. Quick! Grab the light source!
One there was who hunted the moon. Well, this got gloomy real quick. I wonder who...
Is that a Lightkeeper's lantern? Is there someone up ahead? Come on, let's go see!
I wonder who or what Flynn's really is.
Monsters!
Lush as the moonlight.
This monster was lurking near the lamp. That must have been a planned ambush. We're not falling for that again. There's something inside it. Some small device. Huh? Why isn't it giving off light anymore? Is it broken? Oh, we better take it with us.
Apparently, the lantern is not enough to remove these creatures on its own anymore. If it ever was. Let me add some more. I'm going to gather some of this right quick. Shilonen actually isn't
the fight
bad.
took place here. Did Flint leave these marks?
Well, they are electro. So at least that's the right element for Flynn's. So I wonder... So I would be inclined to think that Flynn's was human, but then Lauma and the animals that she usually works with are decidedly put off by him, implying that either he or something he carries...
Is someone there? Please, help me!
Isn't that Flint's voice? Did you hear that? But is that really him?
Something he carries is dangerous.
Ah! More fatties!
Receive my blessing.
Settle down!
That movement in the mist is Pretty unsettling, if I'm being honest.
Ah! We'll be in trouble if these spooky shadows touch us! Quick, use the lantern!
Yep. So the shadows can be dispelled, but the other monsters can't be. Is that it? Ah! Didn't see him. Too far. How about now? Okay. Still following Flynn's trail. There's a lot of these things here. Kinda want to... Ooh! Oh no. Disperse all of them. But the lantern is taking its sweet time. Or it feels like it's taking its sweet time. Charging up again. Not actually a very long cooldown, but 5 seconds feels like an eternity with these things barreling at you. Oop. Don't freeze on us.
Hand it over. That was mine from the first. You're a fool. You again.
What the? It's stronger than before. Lantern now! It escaped again. This situation speaks for itself, I presume.
That was Rear, wasn't it?
So, you were tangling with Rara out here all by yourself.
So, that vile phantom hiding inside the Wild Hunt has a name of his own.
Let's find a spot to rest before we continue this discussion.
Yeah, you don't look so good.
Sorry you had to see me like this. All the same, you have my sincere thanks for your aid. To think you had the power to so easily cleanse the filth staining the lantern, which tormented me so. Might I ask what magic that was? Or whose pupil you are? I believe I might have saved some face had I mastered just a fraction of such abilities.
I don't understand it either. Just my constitution, I think.
And an enviable constitution it is. A pity that such abilities cannot be acquired.
Why did abyssal power just burst out of your lantern anyway?
That is a long story. Many moons ago, when on Wild Hunt clearance duty, I shattered one of its cores only for a special crystalline object to fall out. I sensed a power surging within it that was at once familiar yet strangely illusory. I freely confess to being an avid collector of ancient gems, coins, and other curios. And curiosity it was that had me store this crystal inside my lantern. Afterwards, I wound up collecting a few more such crystals quite by accident, and discovered that they could merge into a single piece without my prompting. Though my understanding ends there. It was only recently that they began slowly emitting abyssal energy, which could neither be dispelled nor weakened.
Is that what Rarer claimed belonged to him? That must be what he's after then!
I concur. And here's the kicker. Before he was exceedingly weak. In fact, I've already beaten him several times, though I could not destroy him completely. But I noticed while engaging him that the crystal fragment would restrict my powers. As such, it occurred to me that I should hide it rather than tangle with him any longer. Alas, he has proved most fixated upon this fragment. And for some reason, his strength has grown by leaps and bounds since I last encountered him.
If this object is contaminated by the Abyss, why carry it on your person? Do you realize how dangerous abyssal corruption can be? It can outright kill you, or shorten your life by decades. So why risk it?
And where, might I ask, would it be safe? Or do you think it wiser I threw it away? Were our places switched, would you discard it, knowing that its perilous might was beyond your ability to counteract, yet capable of causing greater harm should it lie beyond your grasp?
When you put it that way, no. Literally the same issue as the moon marrow in its own way.
Yeah, throwing it away would mean giving the bad guy what he wants. But exposing yourself to its corrosion and growing weaker by the day, that sounds super dangerous too.
Only those who shoulder risks are qualified to welcome in the turning of the tide. Those who flee when troubles come are nothing more than deserters. Though I shan't deny that I have your fortuitous arrival and most outstanding assistance to thank for my continued ability to speak such platitudes. Either way, it seems this fragment is now utterly still. That must have made it useless to Rarir. I doubt he would have retreated so readily otherwise. I imagine this wasn't the only reason you came looking for me, though?
Well, no, but...
Long story there.
Ah. I see.
Can you think of a reason why Rarir would try to frame you?
To use the Lightkeepers to find me, I suspect. I did not inform anyone of my true whereabouts, so he should have had more difficulty tracking me down. They alone have the ability to quickly pinpoint my position. Our Sergeant Major has a Kuvaki-powered device that can be used to detect others who bear a lantern. They usually don't pay my whereabouts much mind unless they absolutely must find me.
You mean this thing?
Yes. Where did you pick this up?
We found it inside a lantern when we first charged into the Wild Hunt anomaly.
It must belong to a Ratnik dispatched to investigate the area, who, it seems, dropped everything and fled the moment they saw the Wild Hunt massing to strike. Well, at least they're not dead.
Guess it's not surprising how they found you so fast then. But if Rarir could have shapeshifted into Sosi, why didn't he just use that Kavaki device to find you himself?
Were he to use it, that device would likely fail to act as it should, owing to abyssal interference.
Ah, guess that explains it.
So not only is this Rerir ruthless, but a purveyor of dirty tricks too. You might not be familiar with Sergeant Major Sosi, but he put his heart and soul into every mission. Our deployments are subject to orders from headquarters, and his orders were to be stationed long-term in Nasha Town. As such, he was very seldom able to go back and visit his family. He worked so hard, seeking to produce excellent results that might convince them to transfer him out.
Oh,
But every year they would say, "Wait a little longer. Wait a little longer." He often wondered if it was because he was lacking somehow. In truth, everyone had nothing but the highest praise for him. But good work does not always lead to good outcomes. The higher-ups would think, he's doing great where he is. Let him stay there forever. A most convenient choice for them, at least. Whereas his subordinates would think, wouldn't it be a shame if we were to lose such a talented, easygoing boss? So he waited. And he waited. Until the world closed its eyes in the depths of the night, and a lantern was slowly lit for him alone, that no one could see.
It is a tragic story, and I am sorry for your loss and pain in it.
One that has played out many times throughout history. Another reason to take this Rerir's head.
oh. At least we now know that he's looking for these fragments inside Wild Hunt anomalies.
And yet, what did the Sergeant Major have to do with any of this? Why did he have to die?
Could Rarer be angry that the cannon Sosi set up to fire destroyed the fragments he wanted to collect?
Could you take me to the scene of the crime?
That might be possible, but you are a suspect in this case. I can't guarantee your safety from the other Ratniki.
We shall just have to exercise some discretion then. Come on. Let us be on our way.
Every lantern couldn't read that. So it looked like every lantern can cast its shadow. Let's see. Quickest way to be looking at achievements once again. Yes, every lantern casts its shadow. Light doesn't reveal good or evil, only the truth. A grim statement, and in line with what we just witnessed. Now then, to return to the crime scene. Still not all that familiar.
I understand the situation more or less. Much has happened, I see. Either way, I suppose we were lucky not to receive a warm welcome on the way over here. It seems my fellow Lightkeepers do not wish to make this case public just yet.
Yeah. Guess Nasha Town's already been enough of a mess lately.
Let's stop here. Any further and the Ratniki might detect us. Since you two can enter, I'll have to request that you kindly pick me up once you're inside.
What?
Oh? And how are we supposed to do that?
Pick you up? What are you going to do?
You'll know when the time comes. See you later.
You're not an Adeptus, are you? Able to change forms at will?
Still acting all mysterious. But he seemed pretty confident, so guess we've got to trust him. Hello?
Ah, you're the special assistants for this investigation, right?
Yep, that's us.
Sorry, I know it's a bit late, but there's a couple of things we'd like to take a look at.
Well, you're just in time. We're basically done investigating the crime scene. All that's left is to finish writing up some records. Then properly dispose of Sergeant Major Sosi's remains. If there's anything else you'd like to look into, this is your last chance to do so.
Has anything new been found while we were away?
Sadly, no. The motive behind the killing remains a mystery. And while we somehow managed to get news of Flint's, an unexpected accident caused us to miss him. But considering that Nefer from the Curatorium of Secrets came forward to help investigate, I have no doubt that a breakthrough's not far off.
We'll do our part too. All right, we're going in. See you later. Phew, we're in. Thanks to Nefer's reputation, once again. But we still know nothing about how Flint is gonna enter, or how we'll pick him up. Never mind how we'll leave later on.
I'm expecting to
Something
find...
the matter?
There's a strange light by the window.
Huh. That looks like Flint's lantern. But where is he exactly?
So you can transform into the lantern?
Well, we've got the lantern. What now? Oh, Paimon almost screamed out loud. You never said you could do magic like that.
Now that's what I call going incognito.
This lantern may have a rather peculiar shape, but so long as it doesn't glow, it won't stand out in the dark. I calculated that you would have already entered, so I chose a spot visible from the window before using light to send you a signal. As I thought, you're both sharp-eyed and on the ball.
The perks of being veteran adventurers, huh?
What you just did, surely that can't be accomplished through elemental power alone.
Your composure is more impressive still. You're right. That required a little trick of my own. But let us leave such trivial topics for a more relaxed moment. Our time is limited after all. Just as I thought. Come, try sensing it yourself. Identical powers must flow from the same source. It was the Wild Hunt, then, that took my form and killed the Sergeant Major. But why do this?
To sow chaos by depriving the Lightkeepers of one of their commanders?
If the Wild Hunt's true form is powerful enough to stand against the world as you claim, I fear not even the full force of Lightkeepers could stand against him. let alone the handful of us stationed in Nasha Town. He would have no reason whatsoever to pick quarrels with individual ants. Let's look again more closely. We must leave no stone unturned.
They said that the crime scene investigation is already complete. There should no longer be a need to keep this place exactly as is.
Well, that makes things simpler. In that case, allow me to disturb the fallen. May the ghost flame guide your spirit. May you rest in peace. When we fought, he seemed like quite a reckless foe. Certainly not the meticulous mastermind type. Yet here we are, grappling with this enigma he has left us.
Oh, if we can't get any leads, we might have to go back and find Nefer. Oh, the longer we're stuck here, the likelier he is to achieve his goal. Ugh, this is so frustrating!
Paimon, look at the flashing light on his arm.
You mean this?
I'm not well versed in machinery, but that means his mechanical arm is malfunctioning, right? It might have been broken in combat.
No, that's not right. Paimon remembers this signal. We saw it before while repairing the cannon. It doesn't mean that the components are damaged. It just means that they're due for regular maintenance, so the device has stopped operating. But the real problem is that...
When we were fixing the cannon, his arm was working just fine.
Yeah, he even helped us find the maintenance port. It could still be a coincidence, but considering it hasn't been long at all since we were repairing that cannon...
The Sosi you met could have been Rerir in disguise. In other words, he played the Sergeant Major before disguising himself as me.
That's right! If only there were some way to prove it!
If something needed maintenance, you'd go register it with Nasha Town's repairman.
You mean Hintsa?
We had a short chat with him once at the tavern, but it's so late. Guess it'll have to wait till tomorrow.
I know where he lives. The situation is critical, so let us now take up the role of uninvited guests ourselves. Ah, yes. And one more thing. Remember to pick me up by the window.
I wonder if Rerir follows this same line of logic. Will he find Hintsa too? Or did he miss all of this? For the sake of Hintsa's wife and child, I sincerely hope Rerir hasn't noticed any of this. We've already lost one family man. We don't need more deaths on our conscience. Oh, hello, Kuhenki. Interesting. They look to be in the shape of a treasure chest. Ah, there one is.
Take heart. You toil not in vain.
And there's a Lunoculus. Can I reach it from here? Maybe. For a moment, let's swap out Lauma. or Moika. See if we can't.
Anytime, any place.
Use her motorcycle to get high enough to reach it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I will switch back to Lauma. If we were still in Natlan, I'd be tempted to go and keep Moika on team, but here in Not Krai,
Do not be afraid, for I am with you.
Lauma works a little better. At the very least for story reasons.
Oh, it's you two. And Flint's. Given the hour, I guess it must be an emergency.
It is indeed. Our sincerest apologies for interrupting your rest. We are investigating a certain matter in connection with Sergeant Major Sosi. We'd like to know if he has sent you a request for maintenance to be performed on his mechanical arm.
Sosi. Oh, so the rumors I heard, are they true? You know what? Forget it. I'm sure it's complicated. No further questions from me. Just a moment. I need to check my records.
Thank you for your understanding.
I wonder what rumors he heard.
Got it. 8 days ago, he came to request a round of regular maintenance. But as it happened, I had run out of the required components. His mechanical arm is especially sophisticated, having been designed by Aino personally. The parts, too, could only be made by her. As such, they usually take several days to arrive. In fact, this time, he even asked me if we could push his request forward. And I understood, completely. Not being able to use your hand, that's rough for anyone. But even more so if your job involves fighting out in the wild. So I did my best to convince Aino to rush the job. And eventually, the parts arrived. 3 days ago, if I remember correctly. I sent word to the Lightkeepers immediately, but he never showed up. I assumed he was just out on some mission or other. What's with those faces? Everything all right?
You've provided us with some very crucial information, Hintsa. You have our thanks. We can't make everything public yet, but once our investigation is complete, I will return to thank you and provide an explanation on behalf of all the Lightkeepers.
No worries. Just glad I could help.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night. Hope the investigation goes well.
I gather that the rumors you were hearing did not involve Sosi's death. Or that Flint was accused of being the murderer. Fortunate for us.
It seems that it is as we guessed. The Sergeant Major Sosi you encountered while repairing the cannon was actually Rerir in disguise. 8 days ago, he had yet to act. But at some point after that, he attacked and imprisoned the Sergeant Major. With the immense gap in strength between them, the job was finished in a single blow. And thus Rerir had no opportunity to discover the malfunctioning mechanical arm. Perhaps his mastery of shapeshifting extends only to outward form, and not therefore to complex internal mechanisms. Hence his oversight of the uniquely mechanical traits of the Sergeant Major's arm, and in turn, this flaw in his disguise.
You're saying he thought no one would realize his mechanical arm was actually made of some kind of black muck on the inside, so long as it worked, right? Still seems like there's a lot of guesswork involved here, but it mostly makes sense.
That means that the only thing he did as Sosi was fire the cannon. So he deliberately fired it? To what end?
This also has me stumped for the moment. The cannon has always been used to destroy the Wild Hunt, and it works as intended. But how would that help Rerir exactly? Assuming he plans to collect the fragments within Wild Hunt anomalies, firing the cannon works against him, since it would blast those fragments to smithereens.
So we solved one mystery, only to dig up another. Whew. This is getting Paimon kind of down. And sleepy, too.
We've been on edge for too long, it seems.
Yes, I'd say it is high time we took a break. Seems like there's a lot left to investigate. We'll have to fight Rerir eventually. And we'll do a poor job if we're not well rested.
Yeah, we should totally get some sleep first.
Flynn's, do you want to rest a day in Nasha Town? Your residence is quite far away, as I understand it.
A reasonable suggestion. I have no doubt that my quarters have been turned inside out by now, at any rate. My colleagues have never failed to live up to my expectations of their discourtesy.
Well, guess we'll just have to pick you up as usual.
That would be good, yes. Feel free to put the room costs on my tab.
I'm pretty sure we still have a tab from Varka. So that shouldn't be a problem. Not that the traveler is especially poor. Still... I don't like the idea of having the lantern just sitting on our bed. Just sitting in the room with us on our nightstand.
Phew, back inside. We can finally take a breather. Okay, Paimon. In and out.
I suppose we could all take a moment to unwind. As I recall, our first meeting took place not far from here. Ah, the nostalgia. Had you already sensed the unique power within my lantern at that time?
Yes, which is why I asked you to give it to me.
I see. Words truly do fail to capture your superlative insight. Fortunate then that abyssal energy was only leaking from the fragment in minuscule amounts when we first met. Or I might have been in for a real interrogation.
Indeed.
Yeah, hard to say how that would have played out. We've had a whole bunch of unpleasant run-ins with the Abyss.
Rerir seems fixated on you, and you on him. You wouldn't happen to be a relative of his, would you?
You mean to ask why I'm going this far to oppose him? Well, as a Lightkeeper, I'd say I'm simply doing my job.
Come on. Don't play games with me. We both know that isn't the full truth.
Yeah! You're covered in more mysteries than Paimon could shake a skewer at. You can't just get out of explaining yourself by making lame excuses.
All right. I suppose I do owe you some honesty, whether out of gratitude or the need to build trust. Your deductions have been quite correct. Should one wish to conceal oneself within a lantern, elemental power alone is not enough. You know humans well, and naturally you understand their limits. But some things that humans would consider difficult are quite normal in the eyes of non-humans.
So, you mean you're one of the latter?
Have you heard of how Snezhnaya was once the realm of the Fae? This race is no longer of any importance, but they still exist, as evidenced by the fact that I am standing before you.
You're a Fae.
We've heard some scattered legends, but that's all Paimon thought there was to it.
I once turned my heart toward humanity, and thus did I experience loss. I once labored and did much, and put an end to my tale with my own hands, when you realize you are floating in the middle of a vast ocean, you cannot help but feel that swimming in any direction would be equally meaningless. Would it not be better, then, to simply sink? But before I could sink to truly lightless depths, chance had it that I should be awakened by a band of Ratniki. They were facing a horde of abyssal monsters, and could not last against such a disparity in strength. Yet none fled. Those who dwell in darkness for long enough become exceedingly sensitive to all light. And the first light I saw upon awakening was that which shone from their eyes.
Is that why you chose to help them?
Perhaps I was moved by their valor. Perhaps I simply saw my past self in them, and was moved to action for the first time in a long, long while. But I was freshly awoken, and my powers were limited. I could not prevent casualties altogether. The survivors and I buried the fallen heroes. That was the origin of the final night cemetery.
And that's why you chose to become a Lightkeeper.
Well, not exactly. I was just more familiar with them. So joining up seemed the most convenient way to experience human life.
Doesn't sound too believable.
Well, I believe it. Besides, I'm well past the age when one might believe in things that must be done. Nonetheless, there are still some things I will not allow to happen. The chaos that Rerir has been stirring up is one of them. Tomorrow I shall go and check our records to see if I can find any connection between the Wild Hunt, Rerir, and the Canon.
Will you need us to get you where you need to be?
Oh, I'll be fine. I keep a backup copy at my residence in case of emergencies.
Can you even go back there right now? Won't there be Ratniki watching it?
Thanks for the reminder. I believe they'll have checked my place, but they won't have stayed. All things are ranked according to their priority, and we lack the manpower for such an open-ended stakeout. And even if someone is waiting, I have ways around that. I am the master of my own house, after all.
All right then, we'll trust you. We sure ended up chatting for a while, huh? I'm super tired now. But, you know, feels like we can breathe easier, now that we know you better.
I didn't take you for the cautious sort. Anyway, I hope you'll help me keep this a secret. I'd prefer others not to know about my past unless strictly necessary. Nor do I want to attract more trouble on account of being a fae.
Why would being a fae in itself cause trouble? Were the fae hunted? Were they also enemies of the heavenly principles? Don't worry, I won't say a thing.
Paimon's lips are sealed too.
All right. Thanks again for your help. Good night, you two.
Finally, we can rest. Let's go get some sleep. There's tons to do tomorrow.
The Ashen White Order burns.
It's getting late. The situation is urgent, but rest is vital. Good night, both of you.
Good night, Flins. Looks like, in order to progress further, I'll have to interact with the bed. But given the time, I think I shall wait to do that until tomorrow's episode. So, if you've enjoyed this, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Do check out my Elden Ring Let's Play, as well as my playthrough of the Genshin Impact main story. And as always, have a good day.